You're watching the Prepared Mind Network, so get prepared for one hell of a show. Consider this your trigger warning. The following program is strictly satire and is not meant to be taken seriously. So don't get all butthurt, you liberal snowflakes, just because we skewer your sacred cows and expose all your lies and hypocrisy. Truth hurts, and so does satire. So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. I'm John, your host with the most. And folks, it's SHTF at its very sneakiest. Yeah, I wanted to put this little one up here, hey, thanks for nothing, Democrats. Right, that was put together by Mr. T, that picture there for us, just to illustrate again the point. All the money that's being sent to Hamas, Israel, Ukraine, while nothing was done to help our friends, our brothers, our countrymen in Hawaii. Wow, good stuff. I don't want anyone to forget Hawaii. I don't want anyone to forget the United States of America, our southern border, everything that's being abandoned and just allowed to go to shit while Democrats lie. Now, you guys know who the Jihad Squad is, right? Yeah, that's Ilhan Omar and Rashid Tlaib and AOC. Well, one of the members decided they're going to post a fake photo of dead Palestinian kids. And it's been fact-checked to be fake. This sounds a lot like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's photo op creation lie, where she was at the border fence crying over caged children who didn't exist in front of her, who weren't there. This is the world we live in, folks. It is a cyber warfare psyop against us. But it truly is SHTF. It has hit the fan. It has hit the fan. But, the battle's on. This is where you and I are making a difference. Me, you, everyone is saying call Washington, D.C. and scream and yell at your congressman. And especially call the Rhino Republican hotline. That is the the rhinos who are doing everything they can to keep Jim Jordan from becoming the Speaker of the House. Looks like Jim Jordan is going to be the best Republican they have to throw up there. He's being endorsed by Getz. He's being endorsed by Trump. He got a standing ovation from everyone as he voted for himself for Speaker of the House. And he lost the vote because the Rhino Republicans, folks, there's a coalition of Rhino Republicans that are keeping Jim Jordan from becoming Speaker of the House. Now, do you recall when, the conservative patriot Republicans were being called, every dirty name in the book by all of the Rhino sellouts because they wouldn't just vote. They wouldn't go along with the other 90%. Remember how they were castigated. They were called rotten. They were called names. How dare you keep McCarthy from becoming Speaker of the House? Because they were holdouts. Now these same rhinos are doing the same thing, but are they being called obstructionists? Well, I just think they're a bunch of hypocritical rhinos. But they're going to do it. They're going to play this game, folks. They're going to play the game. And it's funny. The rhinos want Kevin McCarthy back in as Speaker of the House. Would you have your crazy lunatic ex? Would you let them back into your house? Of course not. Of course not. For pretending to be something they're not and then promising to do good things and never coming through and lying and cheating and doing backroom deals. Yeah, lying on you, cheating on you. That's what Jim Jordan was doing. He was cutting deals with Joe Biden in the back room, behind the doors where no one was looking, cutting deals with Biden. That's like cutting deals with Satan, because he is the Satan, as in adversary. He is the great adversary of freedom and liberty. You don't do deals you don't agree with. You don't coordinate and cooperate with the devil, folks. You just don't do it. Well, here we are. Get your questions in the comment section. We're going to have a lot to talk about. We're going to have some fun. It is 2 for Tuesday. It's too much Tuesday. It's too bad Tuesday. It's SHTF Tuesday. I tell you, been working my tail off trying to keep up with the cost of living increase we're suffering under. Crazy, crazy world. And I love the fact, folks, I love the fact that every single one of these Hamas supporting scumbags is being exposed. From college kids to politicians to media stars to ancient professors, they're all being exposed. I just absolutely love it. What do you want to talk about, though? Really? I mean, I put up this picture. Thanks for nothing, Biden. Biden did show up in Hawaii after taking 2 vacations. He spent time looking at his watch, falling asleep, and making absolutely no sense at the times he was speaking. He didn't do a bit of good for Hawaii. Now, he still has not gone to Ohio, where that train wreck was. You know, that was Palestine. He may have thought that he was going to go see Hamas. Yeah, so he did not go to East Palestine, Ohio. He has not been in his entire presidency to the United States southern border, where he's allowing millions of illegals to pour across. And it's not just Mexicans. It's Central Americans, Guatemalans, Hondurans, San Salvadorians, Panamanians. It's South Americans, Colombians, Venezuelans, Brazilians, Peruvians, Chileans. And it's not just from South America or Central America. It's Africans. It is Russians. It is Chinese. It is Syrians. The enemies, as well as Palestinians trying to sneak across into our country. Pakistanis. And Joe Biden has not gone to our border. But he's going to go to Israel. And he's going to go to Jordan. How does that work? How does that make sense? Crazy, crazy, and crazy. What do you want to talk about? I mean, the cool part about this show is you guys get to pick the topics. You get to choose what we talk about. I'm going to do something crazy here. As the show goes, Ooman at any time can put up one of your questions, completely stop where I'm at in the series of news stories I want to talk to. Let's just throw one up there, man. Where are you guys at as the people? Right? They're trying to catch us off guard. They're trying to put us in a corner. They're trying to scare us. They're trying to intimidate us. Are you ready to fight for your country, folks? The fight right now is in D.C. The fight right now is at the southern border. The fight right now is in our colleges, and it's in the media. Are you prepared to start fighting now in a nonviolent way? I know it's a big call to action that I keep saying. Write, text, call, email, vote also. I know that's asking a lot. People don't want to get involved. They don't want the trouble. They don't want the headache. You don't want that. Well, if you don't want a headache, folks, then you better take action. I think that's the point. Look at what they've done, because we haven't done enough. And I know you guys that are here listening, watching right now, I know you've stuck your neck out. I know you've worked your ass off. I know you've tried helping others, but we can't give up. And it's good practice too, to stay current and to be able to explain your position, your perspective. There's going to come a time when we have a chance to take our country back. when we can determine for ourselves how the country's going to work again. And every single one of these fucking cowards out here that won't lift a finger, pick up their phone, or write an email or say anything about what's going on with the scum in control they will, as soon as the country is safe again, they'll come out of the woodwork and start making demands. And I'm gonna be one of the first to stand up and go, you guys shut the fuck up. You did not help us free this country. You did not fight back. You sat on your hands. You pretended you were too busy. You didn't do jack shit to help us patriots win it back. You don't get a fucking say. I'm going to be that guy too. I'm going to ask, what the fuck did you do to fix things? I don't remember hearing your name or seeing your face, right? So that's why I want us to get out there and be known and be heard and be seen. Right? All of my family, they want to say something to me. Well, we're going to have some problems. All of my friends and coworkers are going to go, what did you fucking do? That's why I recommend that we take the lead. We set the example. America first, not America last, like Joe Biden. Oh, it's crazy, folks. What is going on? I mean, get this. There's a lot of people soul searching. And this was an incredible story that I heard. This Democrat, his name is Chamath Palihapitiya. Chamath Palihapitiya. Obviously a non-English sounding name. Not only is he a Democrat, but he's a billionaire. And I think he went to one of Hillary's re-education camps. He admits he was wrong about Trump. And he says that Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, did more harm than Trump did harm to anything. The fact that people hated Trump and everything they did to attack him and attack America and destroy things was far worse than anything Trump had done. I'm like, really? This guy? I mean, he went to Hillary's re-education camp and they had it on backwards. They're turning Democrats into Trump supporters. That's how bad it is. I don't know what got to this guy or how he figured it out. But what I want to say to you is we can have that effect on people by making intelligent observations and sharing it. And we need to do it. We do. But I'm telling you, I'm not going to give in to anybody who says, well, I think. I'm going to go, what the fuck you know? That's how pissed off I am over this, folks. That's how really pissed off I am over all of these people. I mean, let's go a little further. Here's another one to let you know what people think of people on that side of the aisle that are pro-Democrat, pro-globalism, pro-Hamas. King Abdullah of Jordan. King Abdullah, guess what he says? In Jordan, there will be no Palestinian refugees. And on top of that, he says there's going to be no Palestinian refugees sent into Egypt either. Now, King Abdullah is not the king of Egypt, folks. But his balls are so big that he's speaking for Egypt on the world stage. Now, this is interesting, folks. Jordan is a Muslim country. Egypt is a Muslim country. These Palestinians must be some awful people if even surrounding Muslim nations don't want them. I mean, why don't they? Why doesn't any single one, why isn't there one of the 57 Muslim nations in the world that want to take in the Palestinian refugees out of Gaza? Take a wild fucking guess, right? Why? Could it be because they're worthless, shit-stained, violent, untrained, uneducated, destructive morons? Even the Muslim countries that are trying to get rid of their shit and dump it on everyone else, they know that these people from Gaza, Palestine, are the worst of the worst. But I want to say this. King Abdullah and all the other countries know that these people in Gaza are the most destructive, murderous parasites. But every one of these Muslim nations is also trying to get them to fight Israel, to do their dirty work for them. Think about that too. That's how awful these people are. That nobody else in the Muslim world wants them. But they're kind of like Ukrainians, I guess. The rest of the world wants to use them to attack Israel the same way the rest of the world wants to use the Ukrainians to try and fight Russia. Starting to see something here? See any similarities? Okay, Ukrainians, we're going to give you some money. We're going to support you. We're going to give you weapons, and we're going to send you into Russia to fight them. And we're all going to say Russia bad. Now let's go to the holy city, Jerusalem. Okay, Gaza, we're right behind you. You're going to send all the Palestinians in to fight. We're going to support you. We're going to give you weapons. We're going to give you money, and you go fight them for us. Go Palestine. Go Hamas. That's what all these scumbags are doing, folks. The same thing they did to Ukraine. Do you hear anyone else talking about it, though? In ABC, Fox, NBC, CBS. There's a huge similarity there. But it's interesting, they're starting to turn and realize, no, you don't support terrorism. Well, are we going to turn that keen eye and look at Ukraine? Uh-oh, John, what are you doing now? I'm going to give you something to think about. That's what. They're saying Israel bad. They're saying Russia bad for picking on people. Well, who goes around and kills people? Who commits war crimes? Who attacks the innocent? Well, that would be Hamas, right? Hamas sets off rockets, bombs, and missiles and kills people. Why did Russia, as in Israel attacking Gaza, why did Russia roll into eastern Ukraine? Because the Ukrainian military was committing atrocities. They were being terrorists. They were committing war crimes. They were killing innocent Russians. And we still hear the Ukrainian government say killing Russians, any Russians and all Russians is a good thing. And American politicians like Light and the Loafers' Lindsey Graham, who said, this is the best money America has ever spent to kill Russians. So how could he be mad at AOC or Ilhan Omar or Rashid Tlaib or any of the squad for saying money given to Hamas was good money spent? To me, it's all the same. The United States government giving $75 million to Hamas, giving $6 billion to Iran, giving $120 billion to Ukraine. How is any of that good? It's your money. It's my money. It's all of our money, supposedly. Well, no, it's not. It's not our money. It's now our debt. We're supposed to pay it back. We are slaves to the decisions made by assholes in Washington, D.C. That's how I see it. Now, would you like it if your parents wrote all kinds of checks and gave you the bill to pay? Would you like it if your kids charged up credit cards and made you pay it? Would you like it if your neighbors went into debt and then you had to pay their bills? That's exactly what Washington, D.C. is. It's a governing body that writes checks and then tells us we have to pay for it. They're thieves, they're liars, and they're just making us pay for everything they want to do. They're spending other people's money, and then nobody, right? Nobody likes it, and everybody has to pay for it. It is absolutely unbelievable. Ooh, man, let's throw up someone right in the middle here, pal, right at the 20-minute mark. Let's have some fun. What do we got? Name redacted. Oh, here we go. He says, today is a new day here in the Philadelphia region. I no longer personally know anyone who sees or gets it. Gotta come here for any like minds. That is fascinating, name redacted. What he's saying is the Prepared Mind channel is where he's got to come to get anybody to think. That's the kind of trouble we're in, folks, to have whole areas of the country. Name redacted said, our ranks are such a rare breed. The evil and clueless are determined to ride the sinking ship to the bottom. And to the bottom it is, or until they are directly attacked. Case in point, I'll make. Thank you, name redacted. Case in point. Harvard. Oh, that venerable educational institution, Harvard. Harvard. Well, they've had a major contributor, a major foundation is now severed, cut off Harvard because of the children there who decided to write letters supporting Hamas. That's right, folks. This is incredible. Get stupid woke, go dumbass broke. There's my version of it. Right? A major foundation is just punishing them. They're pulling off. The Wexner Foundation, folks, it describes its focus as being on developing Jewish and Israeli leadership. Whoops. Harvard didn't think about that. The students there didn't think that they're being supported by pro-Jewish, pro-Israeli foundations, philanthropists, people who are giving their money to Harvard. Here's the quote from the nonprofit Wexner Foundation. Quote, we are stunned and sickened at the dismal failure of Harvard's leadership to take a clear and unequivocal stand against the barbaric murders of innocent Israeli civilians by terrorists last Saturday, the Sabbath and the festival day. No more money for you, Harvard. Meanwhile, folks, professors at Harvard, they're scrambling. They're running around like chickens with their head cut off. They're jumping in front of every camera and every microphone to try and distance themselves from the students who signed a letter supporting Hamas. And every one of these students and every one of these professors, folks, are typical idiot, millennial, centennial, socialist, spoiled punks that think everybody owes them everything. And there's no consequences for any of their actions or words. Folks, dealing with the destructive left is not easy. They even hurt their own institutions. I'm sure the Wexner Foundation is not a patriot right-wing institution. The Wexner Foundation does not support the Prepared Mind channel. The Wexner Foundation has never sent a letter to compliment the Prepared Mind channel. I'm sure they are not pro-Constitution to the extent that I am. But that's what they get. They're supporting people who are full of hate. It's good to see they're pulling their money back. At least we got that going for us. And I'm sure there's going to be more foundations, folks. More foundations. This was interesting. Totally interesting. I think I covered a little bit of this morning. In England, folks, jolly old England, the Prime Minister has declared support for Hamas is a crime punishable with up to 14 years in prison. Start arresting people. No shit. Somebody figured it out. Supporting and getting behind a terrorist means you are a terrorist because you're enabling them, you're supporting them. And a lot of these people are also funding them. Didn't I point out, why doesn't the Wexner Foundation support Trump? Or maybe they do. But I don't think they should be very happy with Joe Biden for giving $75 million to Hamas just a short few weeks ago. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. What is going on? Where to go next? Do you have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense? Do you have a plan? If you're here now, like name redacted, you're looking at things a little differently. You're looking at the world and trying to see the inconsistencies as well as the consistencies. What is happening? What can we predict? Today, the Secretary of the Treasury, Janet Old Yeller Yellen, says that the United States government can certainly afford funding the wars of Ukraine and Israel. But we can't afford Afghanistan. We gotta ditch out of there. Well, I say if we can afford wars, then we can afford to take care of our veterans. We can afford to get the crazy people off the streets, all of the homeless lunatics. If we can afford the wars, why can't they afford to buy me a house? Really? Why can't they? If they've got all the money in the world, why not give it back to the people? If they've got all that extra money. See, they don't have extra money. All they can do is put you and me further in debt. That's what she's saying, is they can and they will put us in debt. Okay. It's just incredible. They're so powerful, yet so fucking ignorant and hateful that they're willing to send you, your children, your grandchildren into debt our entire lives just to satisfy their fucking agendas and their greed and their egos. What has Janet Yellen done to help us? What did Benjamin Shlomo Bernanke do to help us? What has Jerome Powell, chief goon of the Federal Reserve, what has he done to help us? All they have done is fuck things up. They really have. Well, they hurt themselves too, folks. They're idiots. Oh, by the way, in New York City, there's a Palestinian doctor there. And she decided she was going to make some disgusting, filthy pro-Hamas remarks and celebrate the slaughtering of innocent civilians in Israel. Folks, supporting terror should be a crime. I say to her, hey, go back to Palestine then, bitch. Right? See how well you do there and how well Hamas treats you in Palestine, in Gaza. Instead, she gets to become a doctor, I'm sure in an American school, probably even Harvard. And then practice in New York City, make all kinds of money. Is this Palestinian doctor sending her money to Hamas, to Gaza, to make a better world there? I doubt it. Because typical people like this only take care of themselves. They don't look out for others. They don't. It's a hell of a world, folks. Let's do this. Let's have some fun. Let's go to the inner circle. Thanks again, Mr. T, for that. All righty. I've got more to talk about. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got another 9 stories to go through, but let's get to yours. It is now your turn. You, the audience, regular Americans, right? Well, how about this? Thinking Americans, intelligent Americans. Chin Music says this: we have absolutely no leadership. Most Republicans are really Democrats, but 0 Democrats are Republicans. Yeah, we're in big trouble. Big trouble. These people are followers, not leaders. They are order takers, not leaders. They are a bunch of carpetbagging charlatans, not leaders. There we go. What are they doing? What are they doing in Congress? They're supposed to be representing their constituents. Why is it that every congressional member, with the exception of very few, don't do anything to help America? How hard would it be? How hard would it be to fix our problems in Congress? Right? It's incredible. There's a rhino Republican named Don Bacon. He says he's not going to vote for Jim Jordan. He says, I'm not budging. I'm a 5-time commander. Folks on Twitter, they went after this guy. He's not a leader. He calls himself a 5-time commander. I served in the military. He claims to be a Republican. But what has he done for us? What has he done for the people? What does he want? What does this guy want? He wants Kevin McCarthy back in there. Now, people ask these questions. Hey, when you were deployed, did you do what you were asked by your boss? Because the people deployed you to Congress and they're asking you to do something. This isn't a solo mission, right? Another one says your constituents want one thing and you're overriding the will of the people with your douchebaggery. Do your job, dumb shit. This is what people are writing this guy. Truly, folks. Someone else, Amy Kremer, says he's the male Liz Cheney. Nebraska serves better. This guy is just a complete asswipe. Right? It's a complete. The Republicans are not supporting freedom and liberty. The Democrats certainly aren't. No doubt there. DC Drano writes, Don Bacon caught serving as advisor to nonprofit with ties to Chinese communist think tank. Humpty Dumpty Institute, right? Unbelievable. Bacon is only one of 8 holdouts. Mario Diaz-Balart, Carlos Jimenez, Frank Lucas, John Rutherford, Mike Simpson, and Steve Womack. Oh, and Ken Buck. Call these idiots, folks. Call these idiots and tell them, right? Do something to help America. Quit helping yourself. I mean, the names they're calling this guy is incredible. Right now, the phone lines in Washington are melting off the hook. I want them to continue to melt, and I'm relying and counting on all of you in the Prepared Mind Network Theater, everywhere, to keep screaming at these people. I mean, there's no leadership chin music in America. There's no, and they're not providing, well, the government of the United States are not providing any leadership in the world. In fact, over in Saudi Arabia, Anthony Blinken, that lying sack of shit, Secretary of State, he's gone over to Saudi Arabia. To what? Take a wild guess. I bet he's over there trying to kiss the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. And guess what he did to Anthony Blinken? He shit on him. He insulted him. He humiliated him. Isn't that just excellent? He asked over there for the crown prince to put pressure on Hamas. Isn't that interesting? Our leadership requires us to go to another Muslim country and ask for help. That's not leadership. Now, over there in Saudi Arabia and in Riyadh, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman made Blinken wait hours Made him wait hours and hours for a meeting that was supposed to happen in the evening. But the Prince of Saudi Arabia didn't show up until the next morning. He made him wait up like a high school prom queen, wondering when his date was going to show up. Now, again, folks, I don't support Hamas. I don't support the Crown Prince. But look at how they treat our leadership, our supposed leadership. There's no loyalty there. There's no support. There's no respect for the American administration. It's not really America. It's Washington, D.C. And everything was, anyways, I'm going to leave it alone right there. These people are morons. And they're going to destroy us, Chin Music. That's what they're up to. That's what they want. That's truly what they want, is to destroy this country. Thank you, sir, for your support, for supporting everything we do here and helping keep the lights on and the tuna fish and Spam in the pantry. And here we go. Who is next? What do we have? We got Byaxo77. He's got a breaking news statement. He says a hospital was hit by an airstrike in Gaza, allegedly by Israel, suspected that there are at least 500 dead or more. That's interesting news. Uman follows that up with Israeli Defense Forces denied any involvement in the hospital attack, blaming instead a failed rocket launch by the Hamas Jihad Group, Palestinian Islamic Jihad Group. Is that another? Is the PIJ? Is that yet another terror group, Uman? It's the pajama terrorists, the PIJs. Yeah, it sounds to me. Oh, let's see. Do we have? Remember how I said? Yeah, let's see. The terrorists in Gaza attack Israel, then blame Israel for it. The terrorists in Ukraine attack Russia and then blame Russia for it. Up in Ukraine, the Ukrainian military launches missiles the wrong way and land missiles and kill people in Romania and Poland. And down in Gaza, the terrorist idiots launch missiles supposedly and then hit their own hospital and then turn around and go, yeah, that was Israel did that. Remember when Ukraine tried saying Russia launched missiles into Poland, tried blaming them for it so that they could start World War III and get more support and more money? I'm sure that's exactly what the terrorists, Hamas, Gaza, Palestinians are doing. They're blaming all of these people that were killed. I'm going to agree with more than likely by these idiot goat herders who make missiles out of their water pipes, probably launched a missile into their own damn hospital. I mean, 500 dead or more, that's a lot of people to kill. That sounds like the entire hospital. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy to kill that many people. With everyone watching in the world, why would Israel launch a missile, a big one, to kill 500 people? Not 5 people, not 50 people, 500 people. Why would Israel do that while everyone's watching? Makes no sense, does it? Makes no sense. Now, I guess Israel could get really sneaky and have one of their insiders down in Palestine set up a missile pointing it the wrong direction right at a hospital. Have the dude scream, "Aloha snack bar." Fire that missile off into the Palestinian Gaza hospital and kill 500 people. I know that's possible, right? Why not have your insiders, your double super duper secret squirrel agents who are Israelis but are down inside Hamas zone, killing people off on that side? That's some dirty pool. I don't put anything past anyone, folks. I'm not accusing them of it. I'm just saying I don't put anything past anyone. I'm not saying they did that. I'm just saying these people are all a bunch of lunatics. I don't understand it. I want peace. They all seem to be willing to go to war any second. I guess I would feel absolutely terrified, terrorized, and petrified and pissed off if 10 miles that way there were a bunch of people trying to kill me constantly. I guess I would feel different about it. I guess when you have the luxury of not being attacked on a daily basis, you can think differently. I don't want to live in the situation like the Israelis have, nor like the Palestinians have, because everyone around them are a bunch of lunatics. Crazy stuff, folks. All right, let's move on if we shall. Let's see what else is going on. Here we are. Baxo has some more. He has some more. Okay. He says Sleepy Joe's. That would be Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe's meeting over in Israel. Oh man. Joe Biden was supposed to meet in Israel, more than likely with King Bibi, Benjamin Netanyahu, because the president shouldn't go over to a little country like Israel and meet with their Secretary of Defense or Secretary of State. Joe Biden is supposed to be head of state, and Benjamin Netanyahu is supposed to be head of state. So if his meeting was canceled, then Joe has been bitch slapped by Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, if I were the president, I would not fly over to Israel without a condition being met. And that would be absolutely that Benjamin Netanyahu be there at the meeting place, regardless of anything else going on, period. There would be no allowing them to embarrass me and the country. You see, that's the relationship standard that the head of state of the world's most powerful country should have. That Benjamin Netanyahu should be begging for an audience with the president. Instead, they're like, hey, canceled. Sorry. You take that old doddering, pants shitting, smelly old guy back to the plane. We don't need to meet with him for a photo op to try and make him look presidential. In other words, Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israelis don't see President Biden as anything more than a blank check writing dunderhead. Plus the Democrat Party in the United States, of which Joe Biden is the head lead member of, is supporting terrorism, Hamas, and the destruction of Israel. If I were Benjamin Netanyahu, I would have invited Joe Biden over and I would have insulted him. I would ask him questions. Why is it members of your party are supporting a terrorist organization? Why is someone in your party not controlling everybody in your party and telling them that killing mass murderers is not a good idea? So yeah. So Israel basically insults, puts down, humiliates Biden and the Democrat leadership, the deep state. The world's a changing, folks. The world is changing. Whew. Thank you, Bioxo, for that little bit of news. Wow. Just wow. Every time I turn around, it's like, wow. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Well, believe it true. Believe it, folks, because it's true. There is more. Let's see what's happened just in the last few minutes before we move on. Yep. I gotta share this. They were doing a vote for Speaker of the House, and Brian Kilmeade called Don Bacon on hot mic dumbass after he voted for McCarthy for speaker over Jordan. That's great, dumbass. That is great stuff. Oh, that is good stuff. Wow. Okay, Uman, where are we going next? Who's up? Name redacted said all of these third world folks. That's third world folks, man. We don't want to call these people from third world. Yeah, it's shithole. What a great play on words, man. All of these third world folks subscribe to a mentality that is not compatible with ours. But remember, that's how they view us. That's correct. The third world scum that wants to come here, they view us as incompatible with them. So they come to our country, take our homes, our money, our jobs, our wealth, our lives, our institutions, and say, these dumb Americans, we're going to take everything of theirs. They have that mentality, folks, the steal your shit mentality. They feel justified and superior, even though they are a bunch of barbaric scumbags. Yet the Democrat Party wants to bring them here, don't they? They started trying to convince America that we need to bring these Gaza Palestinian scumbags to our country. 1 million of them. What part of that makes any sense? How does that help America in the very least? Especially when 57 other Muslim countries don't want them. Is America that stupid? Does America really think we're going to change the way they think? When folks, Muslim radicals have been stabbing, shooting, running people over with vehicles, attacking people around the world, maiming, killing, injuring, and murdering people around the world, all in the name of Aloha Snack Bar. Exactly. Exactly, folks. Now, this has come up this afternoon as well. We've been talking about Judge Tanya Chutkan. It's a lousy name. She is the judge who is politically persecuting President Trump. She has officially released her gag order, and it's awful. I'm gonna quote the Gateway Pundit and their article on this, but I'm gonna add a few of my own words in there. See if you can find the words that I add to their story. Bitch Judge Tanya Chutkan held a hearing on Monday morning on Pussy Jack Smith's proposed gag order and used it as an opportunity to attack Trump. Jack Smith is the prosecutor, folks, who leaks information, lies in court and to the public, and plays little games trying to get Trump convicted of a crime. Let me continue with Gateway Pundit's article. President Trump will be barred from speaking out against Pussy Special Counsel Jack Smith, court witnesses, and more. Bitch Judge Chutkan laughed at Trump's lawyers before telling them that Trump does not have the unfettered First Amendment right. According to Bitch Chutkan's gag order, Trump cannot criticize Pussy Special Counsel Jack Smith or any of his pussified prosecutors, even if Trump is telling the truth. Trump cannot criticize Jack Smith's pussified staffers, any of the bitch's court staff or supporting personnel, or any witnesses. Pussy a-hole Jack Smith can leak and lie about Trump, and he can threaten witnesses, but Trump cannot defend himself, otherwise he will be violating Bitch Chutkan's unconstitutional gag order. Did you guys catch where I added some special words? Really, folks? Thank you, name redacted. Yeah, unbelievable. It's unbelievable that Jack Smith can lie, intimidate, harass, and threaten, but Trump is not allowed to respond or talk about what is being done to him or reveal and expose the harassment, the unconstitutional behavior, the law-breaking behavior of the people who are persecuting him. There is no way anything that this bitch does or Jack the idiot does that is going to hold up in an appeals court. But that's not the point. The point is to silence him, threaten him, make him look bad, and try and destroy him during an election and campaign season. Now, to give you an idea what is going on and who this Jack Smith guy is, another judge named Eileen Cannon. She has basically bitch slapped Jack Smith, special prosecutor for Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, special prosecutor Jack Smith. She basically smacked him down over the classified documents case that she is overseeing. Again, how funny is it that Jack Smith is loved by Judge Bitch Chutkin, but other judges don't like him and don't agree with the crap he's pulling? There's no justice, folks. All we get is lies. We have partisan war inside the government. One judge is for something, another judge is against it. One court rules the Second Amendment means what it says. Another court rules that it doesn't. What court is correct? What judge is correct? We're going to have to decide the law for ourselves because government cannot be trusted. And I don't want a simple majority. I don't want the consensus to be that my rights don't matter. I don't want the consensus in this country among the governments to be my First Amendment is limited, that my Second Amendment is limited to whatever they want to say it is. That's not what they say. That's not what was intended. That is not the spirit of the Constitution, nor certainly the spirit of the Declaration of Independence. How close are we? 1776. You know who would be great right now if he had his audience back the way it used to be? Alex Jones. I wanted to say that to piss people off, to make them mad, to make them think. Alex Jones was good at one thing, and that was winding people up and pissing them off. And like Trump, he pissed off his opponents really well because he was a radical big mouth. But how much was Alex Jones really right about when it came to things like, it's 1776? He was saying that back, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And here we are today looking at the things that were being done to people in 1776 that caused them to write the Declaration of Independence. I feel like almost going and pulling it up and reading it right now. Reading the Declaration of Independence and what the government was doing to people in the courtrooms and in the cities, destroying the business, encouraging the, forgive me for saying this, but the British government was encouraging Native Americans to attack the colonists. In other words, they were using a mercenary force and race baiting to attack their own people. What is it that Joe Biden is doing? He's encouraging people from outside of our civilization, from outside of our culture, to come in and attack us. That's exactly what Biden and the Democrats are doing. They're inviting in our cultural and religious and spiritual and every other way you want to describe it, our enemies, exactly as the British did. They're using our courts to silence us. They're passing laws that are a violation of our rights. Are you prepared for the chaos that's going to come? That's what this channel is about, is getting people prepared and then fighting the good fight, prep to action. I'm telling you, I mean, if you don't, you may as well be this guy, right? Take your sheep vitamins, right? Take your vitamins, right? Line up and get your Jim Jones juice. Trust the government. They're here to help. Don't look over there at all those illegals coming in the country. Don't look at all those people, right, killing and murdering. Don't look at all those people stealing, thieving, robbing us blind. Don't worry about that. We need to really be worried about something else. It's always something else that the government says we should be looking at instead of looking at them and everything they're doing. Wow. What do we got next? I think we've got more. Uman says the best thing you can do to help America is to leave the rest of the world to its own devices and let the American people keep the money they earn. Now that, my friend, is an opinion shared by Americans, an America first belief system. In fact, there is was it the mayor of Dallas who had a fiery speech? I think Mr. Skylight sent this to me. A fiery speech talking about America first. There needs to be an America first policy where we are taken care of, where our money is ours, and when we have enough and our standard of living is high enough and we feel like supporting other countries, we can do so personally. But to have our money taken from us, our wealth, our income, at the threat of being prosecuted with the barrel of a gun pointed at us, and then they take that money and give it away, and then they tell us, well, we're going to spend even more than we've taken in. We're going to not only take your money, we're going to hand you a bill for future expenses that the government is funding right now. America first. What could be done with all of the billions of dollars that are spent helping these other countries fight wars that only seem to benefit mega corporations and political figures? Whew! Thanks, you, man. That made me calm down a lot. What else have we got, man? We're at 57 minutes. We're closing down. Charles Gentry checks in. He says, the next question is, how many Americans do you know have what it's going to take to make America great again? Well, I know a lot of them. Charles. I see hundreds of them every day. Every single day. I pass on the road hundreds of veterans. And I see the stickers on their cars, U.S. Army, U.S. Marine Corps, U.S. Navy, veteran. I see them flying Trump flags, Make America Great Again bumper stickers. I drive by and see those Americans in their cars. They have what it takes to make America great again. I know because they're going to a job and they're going to make money. They're going to produce something and then they're going to be taxed. These are producing people that want to make America great again. Now, are they all leaders, Charles? I don't think so. Are they all contributors? Yes. They have what it takes. Are they leaders or are they joiners? More than often than not, people are joiners, not leaders. On a local level, where are you going to lead people to make America great again? You can't. You can't at a local level make America great again. Can you do it at a state level? Well, certainly you're going to have more influence that way. We need leadership at the state level, in the governor's mansion, in the state legislature. Leadership that says we're going to make America great again. We're going to stop supporting other countries. We're going to stop supporting wars. We're going to stop supporting massive corporations that are screwing the American people over. We're going to make America great again. There needs to be a series of policies laid out that will take us from how fucked up we are back to where things are great. Number one, we start with our children. Schools will teach reading, writing, and arithmetic. There will be no social promotion of any agenda. They will teach scientific facts. Boys have penises, girls have vaginas. 1 + 1 is 2, and it doesn't matter what color you are. 1 + 1 is always 2. And America is a great place, and our flag is awesome. Our Constitution is the law of the land, and it has to be obeyed. Make America great again. Another step, if you take the oath of office to serve on a local, state, or federal level, the moment you violate that oath, you are to be kicked out of the office that you hold. Removed, summarily removed by a panel. There needs to be a judicial panel to review Now, what is unconstitutional? What is a violation of your oath? Not supporting the Constitution, not supporting the law, not supporting America. You want to support Hamas? You want to support another country? You want to support a war that has no real bearing on this country? You're done. You're gone. America first, Jack. If you're an illegal alien, you are to get on a bus and get your ass out of this country. And if you don't get on that bus, then you're going to be fair game for anyone who catches you. If you've been caught by another American and you are an illegal, right, that person, if you know, by whatever means, can turn your ass in and you get on a bus and get out of the country. You want to make America great again? Close the fucking border, period. And you line it with National Guard. And you line it with Border Patrol. Make America great again. Damn right. There are some very basic rudimentary steps. There is to be a constitutional test for any lawyer and any judge. What does the First Amendment say? They should be able to recite it verbatim. And if they make any ruling or any argument to the contrary, they're out. Second Amendment shall not be infringed. Have the test. If you can't read that and recite it verbatim, you can't be an attorney or a judge. And the moment you say or argue anything other than shall not be infringed means shall not be infringed, right? If you try to make that argument, you're gone. Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, due process, privacy, government is restricted, not unrestricted. When you, as a member of government, as an agent in law enforcement, when you violate someone else's rights, you are removed from that job. If someone violates your rights and you are a police officer, you get to remove them from the problem too. They already have that authority. You interfere with a policeman doing his job, you can be arrested. You interfere with someone's rights to be a free American, you are arrested and tried in court. I want equal rights for everyone, not special rights for some and no rights for others. Now I'm on my soapbox. All right. We're already a few minutes long. Mr. Uman, let's do it. Uman says Shell Oil's CEO, the CEO, Chief Executive Officer, said they are giving up on specific targets for carbon offsets. About time someone stands up and calls bullshit on this bullshit. In other words, Shell is saying carbon offsets. Well, we need to invest in solar and wind to offset the carbon we're pumping out of the ground for what? That's right. Damn right. You either, if your business is fucking oil, then sell oil. Now, if you want less carbon, then you make that something entirely different. Right? If you want energy and power, figure it out. Figure it out. But this, yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad they're starting to call bullshit. Good. I'm glad Shell Oil CEO has done that. I'm no fan, folks. I'm no fan, by the way, of the oil industry or the automotive manufacturing industry. And I'm going to bring up a couple fucking examples now that I'm on my damn horse. They can produce hydrogen very cheaply. And hydrogen can be burned in the internal combustion engine, and its byproduct when burned is water. They can produce a shit pile of hydrogen. They can open, folks, massive amounts of energy for the world to use. If they do it, they don't want to produce a hydrogen engine mass manufacturer. They want to play this game with EVs and fuck around with everybody and not have charging stations around and not have, make these batteries extremely expensive. They're toxic waste. Tell everyone this is what you want to offset carbon and then create even more. It's the whole thing is a joke. If you want clean fuels, make clean fuels. Hydrogen. How do you do that? The answers are actually already out there, folks. The car manufacturers have them. It's the hydrogen engine. It's hybrid vehicles that have a battery and hydrogen setup. They can make really inexpensive nuclear power if they take all the regulatory horse shit out of it. They have nuclear reactors, small modular advanced reactors that create nuclear energy produced power, and it has no nuclear waste when they're done. They have that technology. Are they going to use it? What has Joe Biden done to fix our energy grids, to fix our infrastructure, to do anything positive? Not a fucking thing. But the answers are already there. They're taking their time. They're dragging their fucking feet. They want to fuck the system up. They want the Great Reset. They want to destroy America. They want to bring us down so that they can own everything and you own nothing and you're grateful for it. That's their plan. Fuck. What a mess. Folks, chance favors the prepared mind. I sure hope you have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense in your plan, because they're going to make it a whole lot worse. I'm glad Shell Oil is fighting back. But there's no belief in fixing the world. There's a belief in every man for himself. And that's where we're still at, sadly, as America, as a world, as a humanity type thing. Anyways, for now, this is where we're at. Are you prepared? Are you ready for what's coming? We'll find out. We're going to find out. Wow, I tell you. Hey, I'll see you guys 0 dark 30 in the morning. Semper Fi. God bless America.